Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome to the channel, if you're new. This is going to be the Metalstorm Ready Room. The idea of this series is to teach starter and upcoming squads a little bit more about the integral facets of Metalstorm and kind of speak about the game within the game. The idea is we would like to take questions in the comments or from Discord, and I even have some of my contacts involved, and we'll do the best to answer most of your questions. Now, I won't give you any secret tactics or hacks or anything like that, but the hope is to explain the basic side of things, from playing design and roles they should fill inside the game, making it easier for startup squads and basically upcoming squads. But before I get into this, be sure to watch to the end of this video, because CoolKegs actually has an important announcement at the end of this video, so you probably won't want to miss that. With all that being said, who am I, and am I even qualified to be speaking about this? You know, kind of as a whole. The short answer is I don't know. But my name is Cool Breeze in the game, and I consider myself above average at best. However, I do play with some of the very best players throughout Metalstorm. I'm also on the 6th ranked squad in trophies on the game, and as far as actual stick flying or skill pilots, we're maybe a little higher than that as a team. We've also done over 100 videos around Metalstorm between our Wings of Metalstorm playlist, our Pilots of Metalstorm playlist, and then even the Ace of Aces tournament that just finally concluded. So the long of the short is, I hope this helps. I don't consider myself an authority. So to be clear, not everything I'll say in this series is gospel, and feel free to introduce your thoughts in the comments, but try to be decent, or the mods won't let it post. So where to start, right? The question that started this series actually was kind of, what does it take to build a successful squad? I'd say the very first thing is to have a clear goal. Do you want to be a competitive squad? Do you want to be, you know, a fun squad that just plays off and on? Do you want to be a mix? It's very important to know what you want to be, or who you are, really. And then getting 30 people on the same wavelength is the challenge. So I would say the next thing is trying to keep your team involved. Make sure everybody's on the same page. It makes stuff so much easier, and it's really not that hard. So all you got to do is communicate, and someone told me a long time ago when I started mobile gaming, you just kind of get in where you fit in. So it takes some time, but hopefully that'll make sense in the long run. And the type of squads that I'm talking about, you have some that are hyper competitive, almost militaristic. So the only thing that matters is points and skill and stuff like that. And there are a lot of players like that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a different way of handling things. And then on the other side, you kind of have the loose, happy-go-lucky guys that are actually fairly good. They don't worry about trophies. They're not as involved. And then you obviously have a mix of that as well. That's what a lot of squads are. I would say most squads are. But both sides can actually produce some toxicity within your squad, right? So if you have, you know, 30 pilots and 15 of them want to be hyper competitive and 15 aren't that type of mindset and just want to play for fun, you're going to have some conflict both ways. So again, communication is like hyper important. So just keep that in mind as a new commander or an upcoming commander of a squad. Sounds fairly simple, but it gets complicated real quick. But I would say right behind a clear goal, almost neck and neck, especially on this game, is to use the tools that you have around you and that are available. Number one priority, in my opinion, would be Discord, right? It helps with communication, not only in the game, but with your members. Having everybody in communication and on voice, especially, is a game changer. So as a new squad commander, and even an upcoming one, it's vital that you get your team on voice on Discord. And for a lot of players, I know it's kind of uncomfortable. Some people have never used Discord. Some people have never talked on the internet, whatever. It's a challenge for you as a leader. So a big part of most of these squad success is being able to have their members on Discord and talking to each other. Another tool, right? A lot of us are a little bit older, and if you have a team member that's good with, say, media generation, whether it's little videos or it can be from their phone, computer, it doesn't matter, definitely utilize and try to motivate that person. And the reason I say that and why would you want to utilize somebody that can do that? Well, it's for training purposes. Now, this is more for the people that want to climb up the leaderboard or whatever. But if you want to be better, typically you got to train. Now, all competitive spaces, they're going to be, let's say, the savants of the game, right? We've got a ton of guys inside of Metalstorm that are borderline professional level gamers, if they're not actual professional gamers. And they just know how to play the game, whether it's out of repetition or just straight, God-given talent, skill, whatever. Not every squad has that, especially starting out. So, what do? As a new commander or an admin, you start pushing for training. Practice makes perfect, right? But to take it a step further, to be honest, perfect practice makes perfect. And what I mean by that is if you have somebody that's decent with media, you can get top-down maps, you can show people visually. Some people learn visually, some people can pick it up, whatever. And custom matches, that's another tool. If you're training, go into a custom match with your squad, get them on Discord, whatever, be talking and explain what you want to do as far as your strategy. That's the best thing I've seen personally. We do that all the time in Dystopia, and a lot of our guys know it like the back of their hand, but they still show up just in case they're missing something or they learn something new. Overall, the most important thing is having a strong leader or leaders inside your squad, especially if you're an upcoming squad. For the squads that are on the cusp of top 100, top 50, top 20, and even the top 5 and up, your leaders have to drive the direction of where you'd like to go. There's different ways of achieving it, like I said. However, with strong, involved leadership, you'll attract those strong, involved players. So that's a big deal as well. And guys, that's pretty much it for this first one. This is already going a little bit longer than I expected. However, I do want to talk about something kind of important. We will probably be pausing as far as the CoolKegs podcast with Metalstorm at the moment. We may not be making content for just a little while till we get something figured out. And the reason why is, I'm sure you guys have seen, Epic Games for the PC players dropped a EULA recently. What a EULA is, or an EULA, is an end user license agreement. Now, just briefly, I want to explain what a EULA is for folks that may not know. Basically, it's a license grant. So it specifies what the user is allowed to do with the software and the installation use of that software. Some of the restrictions can outline what the user is not allowed to do, such as like reverse engineering or distributing the software, basically giving away or cheating or copying it. Typically, ownership-wise, it clarifies that the software developer retains ownership of the software. Okay? Now there's liability limits. It limits developers' liability for any issues that may arise from using the software. So if you get hacked, have a problem, it's a way for them to cover themselves, right? Now, there's also termination clauses typically. It describes the conditions in which under the agreement can be terminated, and often it includes like or how your account can be terminated if you violate terms, right? But basically, it's an important thing for companies. It helps protect the software's developers' intellectual property while also informing users about their rights and responsibilities of using the software. Traditionally, EULAs have been used explicitly for their software. But recently, Epic just dropped a license agreement that is a little bit different. So I do want to read off just for people so they can understand why we may be taking a little pause until we understand exactly what they mean by the agreement. So the number one thing is user-generated content. That's the thing that we automatically assume is allowed when we think of streams or let's plays, guides, tutorials, stuff like this, right? Epic allows making content, but it's the sole owner, and everything you do would be owned by Epic and can be monetized and sold to third parties without our knowledge. And also in this new license agreement, it's wanting to say that Epic can save your opinions, but also display them in public, sell or license them, modify them, adjust them for marketing purposes. Now, by signing that agreement, that would basically make any of this content, if we agree to it, theirs automatically. From what I understand, that would probably include everything we've done previously. You could kind of understand the conflict there. By signing this, it would also allow all others use of our opinion, including ways they haven't figured out yet. But also by signing this, it would be non-negotiable again. And we wouldn't own any of the words or videos that we would post in forums even. There's even a statement in the clause that we would knowingly give up any right given by any other law to claim otherwise. Basically, if we were going to give a negative review, for example, they could possibly change the review to a positive one to drive sales. And this is the third point. By making a purchase, and quick reminder that we license the game, we don't own it, right? So we kind of rent, what we're playing. That we would be knowingly getting into a state that they are in with all the bugs, glitches, crashes, etc. without any warranty. That's fine. But both Epic and their partners take zero responsibility for claims and give no insurances or guarantees to the customer or the players. That's kind of normal as well. However, the list of potential issues that no one would be taking responsibility consist of, but not limited to, programs working incorrectly, not working at all, could contain bugs, and even malicious software such as like viruses. Now, I'm not saying that's the case, it's just a potential thing that no one would take responsibility for. So basically, Epic and their partners would not be required to inform, contain, or prevent any of those as far as the law is concerned. Now, Epic also says in this new license agreement that it does not in any way, shape, or form acknowledge the European laws or any other region, and it claims it's not binded by it, but only by US law. I'm not a lawyer, I have no idea. That stood out to me though. And the thing is, I'm not attacking Epic or Metalstorm or anybody. This is definitely not a Metalstorm issue. I want to make that clear. This is an Epic issue for the PC gamers. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. But also, I want people to know about Epic. They got praised for their lower taxes on the store. But just because you do one good thing, I don't think it should ever be tied to trying to present something like this, which is pretty much no liability for the products that you guys pay for, I pay for. I understand they have to cover themselves, but that's it's kind of outside the box as well. But I just want to say, guys, that it's unfortunate for me personally. I'm a PC guy. But I can't even play the game right now without accepting this agreement. So that's an issue. What we're going to do is we're going to just take a small pause. We're going to have some dialogue, hopefully, with Epic and hopefully Starform. We'll see. However, I can't knowingly sign away basically a good chunk of our YouTube channel to Epic or any of their partners. I think you guys could understand that. So you won't probably see me in game. You'll still see Kegs. He flies on mobile through another agreement, through an app store. So and you'll still see our team in there. But I just wanted to let you guys know that for a little while we'll probably be taking a break. Now, I'm hoping to still continue this series at the same time. If you guys actually end up enjoying this and want to comment and ask questions, I'd love to take those again back to some of the best players in the game, maybe have a quick dialogue, and then do a little informational video. But at the moment, without signing this agreement, I think we're okay with, you know, even using the opening that's super basic and basically free advertising. However, it's just it is a worry. But hopefully we get something figured out, and Epic can talk to their, you know, 45 million members or whatever it is. So millions anyway. But guys, basically that's it for the kind of first drop. I'm thinking, you know, depending on your questions, if we don't get any, we can talk more specifically about again, playing roles or something like that. Maybe even to a degree of what I mean by training. But this ran a little bit longer than I thought it would, so I'm going to wrap it up. I just want to thank you guys again. You guys are amazing. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and but I guess that's it. But be sure to check out Xanatos Music. He makes amazing musical pieces for gameplay and more, so be sure to check him out. His links are in the description. Don't forget we're on Facebook, Rumble. There's probably something even out there on TikTok. Yeah, guys. But until next time, blue skies and happy hunting.